Southern belle Andie MacDowell epitomises elegance and beauty, so it's not surprising that she's been the face of one of the world's top cosmetic companies, L'Oreal, for over 20 years. In the early 80s, Andie dropped out of college to become a successful elite model. She featured in a series of Calvin Klein ads that grabbed Hollywood's attention and led to her film debut in 1984's Greystoke, The Legend of Tarzan, Lord of the Apes. Unfortunately, the film's producers decided her southern twang didn't sound right, and Glenn Close was called in to dub over all her lines. Critics were unimpressed, and after a small role in St Elmo's Fire, it looked like Andie's career was over before it even began. Refusing to quit, she used this time to study method acting, and 4 years later was cast in Sex, Lies and Videotape, playing a repressed housewife who discovers there's more to life than keeping up appearances. Her gutsy performance wowed both audiences and critics alike, helping establish her as a serious actress and earning her an Independent Spirit Award.
I won a Spirit Award 20 years ago for Sex, Lies and Videotape, and so I have a special place in my heart for independent movies. It changed my life.
Andie's career was on the up. In the romantic comedy Green Card, she charmed audiences as Bronte, a New Yorker who marries Gerard Depardieu so he can stay in America. She really enjoyed playing a character who's torn between what her heart and her head is telling her to do.
Inside, as soon as she sees him, he makes her nervous. But her brain keeps going, this guy is just not your type. You know, look at him. He's a slob. He wears black. You can't go out with it. Look at his hair. He doesn't care about what's happening to the world. Look at him. But inside, she's like completely fallen in love with him. But her brain keeps saying no. So it's just the time being around him that the heart takes over.
Known for her innocent and sweet on-screen persona, many believe she'd be the same off-screen. But you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
And I think most people perceive me, even though it's not necessarily always true, as a really sweet, wholesome person.
In the 90s, Andie's career continued to go from strength to strength. Her most memorable performances include starring as a misguided secret agent nun in Hudson Hawk, opposite Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, and as the American girl Carrie in 4 Weddings and a Funeral. And throughout her career, Andie has recognised that the aim of films is not just to entertain, but also to educate.
Well, I think it's always important to understand humanity and the mistakes that humans make.
In The Muse, Andie worked with actor-director Albert Brooks, and she was intrigued by how he managed his dual role.
I've never worked with an actor who was directing. It's slightly intimidating at some points. It was really cute because one time we were doing a scene and I was behind him. So how could he be directing me if he was like looking around saying, so what are you doing? I'm being good. I'm doing a good job back here. Don't worry about it.
Barnyard was Andie's first animated film. Always up for a challenge, she wasn't intimidated by the fact that her voice was the only way she could communicate with the audience.
I've read books so much to my children, and I've done some reading for public broadcasting for radio. So it wasn't the first time, but it was a little different.
Despite being very successful in Hollywood, Andie hasn't forgotten that it was independent cinema that made her a star, and so continues to be a strong supporter of indie films.
Well, it's like good art. You have to have all kinds of art, and sometimes wonderful things come from a struggle. And that's what working on an independent movie quite often is like a struggle, because you have no money and you're just trying to create on a budget that is ridiculous, and sometimes great things happen.
Whether at home in North Carolina with her 3 kids or amongst the glitz and glamour of the red carpet, Andie is comfortable in her own skin.
No regrets, because there's an evolution to life, but to celebrate every age and to know that life is a celebration and it doesn't get worse, it always gets better. Depends on your mind.
When Andie MacDowell began her career, many assumed she was just another pretty face and were quick to dismiss her. But she cleverly used her modelling profile to jumpstart her acting career and hasn't looked back, going on to prove that she is one of Hollywood's most elegant stars. Stay tuned to Star Picks for all of the movies you know and the actors you love. Broadcasting glorious high definition with 5.1 surround sound where available. For more of the best in entertainment news, check out your Movie Network channels. It's all together better, on screen and at mnc.tv.